Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the first day of the Whole Self Healing Workshop. I'm just going to make sure I can hear myself. Yes, I can. So I think the volume's working fine. So welcome everyone who's here. Before I get started, I'd like to do just a little bit of housekeeping, just to make sure everyone's on board. So this live workshop is being recorded, yes, and you will get the replay link sent to you if you have selected going, or maybe in the workshop link. But if you haven't done that and you've just popped up here and you can't stay, that's all good. Just comment below replay in the comments, and I'll find you in the comments and be able to send you that replay link. So I know that a couple of you have done that already, so that's awesome. Also, I will announce the winner of the free energy healing session after tomorrow. So if you want to be selected for that, if you'd like to be part of that free giveaway, all you need to do is be here for today and tomorrow, both live days, and comment energy healing in the comments so I can see that you want to be in this draw. Okay, so hey everyone, my name's Kaz Olive, and I am the creator of Olive Therapies and my signature iRise program and the Whole Self Healing course, which has seen many women heal their lives and create success and higher vibe lives, doing amazing things for themselves and their families in my courses. So what I do is I help people to heal from past trauma and create harmony in their lives using their own ability to heal with a healing practice using energy healing techniques. You are the medicine, but you can also be your own suffering. So what I do is my work with women involves a whole self healing approach, as your body, your mind and spirit is connected to your entire energy system, and it provides you with all the answers to resolve suffering in your life and overcome barriers and blocks and restore your energy vibration to that of wholeness and harmony, and to be fully tapped into your higher consciousness. It's really important. You may have tried loads of different healings before. You might have tried holistic healthcare or mainstream healthcare or counseling to resolve trauma and the things that were holding you back in your life from greatness, and it might have worked or helped for that time or in the short term, but maybe you feel the issue is still a little bit beneath the surface, and that's because often we're just band-aiding the issue and not fully resolving it. So you have greatness inside of you, you really do, all untapped superpower gifted to you by the source of all creation. You are part of the source of all infinity. It's in you. You are it. It is you. And if you were never told just how powerful you are, because we weren't, today I'm going to open the gateways and show you how to access the powerful healer that's inside of you. So I will show you that process and how we get started in that. All humans are guided by a higher power that longs to put you on a spiritual path. It's hard to sense this until you signal to the universe that, like, hey, I'm ready, and until you're ready to clear the energy. And this always starts with a set of processes first, which is protecting and clearing your energy field, and that's what we're going to do today. The moment you do, it's like your eyes just pop right open to God's signs and how the universe just drops these breadcrumbs for you to follow that keep you safe and moving forward towards your desires and your goals. So some of you may also have spiritual healing gifts, and through this workshop you will come into a deeper understanding, a revelation as to what your gifts are. And if you would like some help to open this part of yourself, You'll have the opportunity to connect with me at the end of this workshop to help you discover and use your gifts for the greater good and for the greater good of all. Okay, so let's get into it. Before I show you the how, I need to explain to you the what and the why. So during this next few days, I'm going to talk about energy, what are blockages, why we need to remove them, the first step to healing, and how to cleanse your energy field and remove blocks. You can do this yourself. And to alchemize, this will alchemize towards your future you. That's where you'll start to receive deeper guidance. You'll start to receive those spiritual gifts that you'd like to tap into. You also get very clear. You get a lot of clarity. You see the path in front of you. It's just amazing. You also feel free, light. You feel a lot more joy in your life as well. So this energy clearing is just a beautiful way to set you up to feeling the things that you want to feel. So I'll also be giving you a unique offer tomorrow at the end of this course, this workshop, if you're interested in that. So yeah, what is energy? You are energy. Everything is energy. Okay, so you may have noticed how situations or people impact on how you feel. Do you notice when you go into a crowded room and maybe you just like zero in on one particular person in that room and they just hold this great energy? They're magnetic and they just attract people to them. Or you also, on the other end of the scale, may notice the energy vampire in the room that just sucks the life right out of you. And, do you feel drained at the end of the day and feel people just want to take and take some more from you, and you feel you have nothing left to give? And it's not just people who hold energy, but places and even buildings hold energy as well. And you know it when you walk into a home and you have that warm, embracing feeling of that home that might just have that good feeling about it, right? Recently, we were house hunting for a while back there before we decided not to, and looking at buying another house, and we would take notice of the feel of the home, and that was really important to us to have a home that just feels really good. And I get this feeling when I also visit parts of Bali as well. Bali is like being a second home to me, and they call Bali the island of the gods, I think. And there are certain energy frequencies that are within parts of our earth that have been called sacred. And if you are in the US, you probably know of quite a lot of those in your area, such as Sedona and significant mountains like Mount Shasta, or temples and pyramids of Egypt, Stonehenge, Mayan pyramids, Machu Picchu, right? So there's many places around the world that have been known to hold this sacred energy. So you see, energy is life. I want to also say there is no bad energy or good energy. It's all energy. We may see it as harmful or useful because energy is energy until we give it some meaning, right? And we can shape it and transform it and bend it, and all energy can teach us and show us things. So even negative energy can still be a teacher for us, but we don't have to hold it inside of us. Okay, we just need to be aware. So we can hold energy in our body, and it can either raise us up or it can pull us down. And we have this amazing ability to manipulate energy, to shift it altogether. We are divine creators of energy as well. So have you heard the saying about how women create the energy of the home? You can read energy as well. So, you might just know by the way your partner rolls into the driveway as to what kind of energy he might be holding. If you've been through trauma in your relationship from abuse, you might be very heightened to reading energy around you, because it's a sense that you've developed to keep you safe. Is this making sense, you guys? Are you following? Just comment the word energy if this is making sense to you. Amazing. I'm just looking at the comments here. Yeah, so I started looking deeper into my energy field when I went through cancer about 5 years ago. And if the cancer treatment wasn't enough to drain the life out of me, a year after cancer, I caught glandular fever, or they call it the Epstein-Barr virus. And then months after that, just months after that, I got Ross River virus, which is like a mosquito-borne virus, and it's like having the flu all the time. It just totally wiped me out. So I felt the essence of my life just drain away from me. And not only my health, but my whole belief system about myself, about who I am and what I'm here for, and everything that led up to that point in my life was like it was put under the microscope. And I could no longer get by in life with just having my many personas to keep up with, like the happy, fun party girl, the sexy girl, the hardworking girl, the go-getter, the spontaneous adventurous girl, the girl who became what she thought she had to be to get to where she had to go, survival, right? And nothing wrong with any of those. We need those. That's a human. We can adapt very easily, right? But when you are stripped bare, you begin to ask questions like, what is all of this for? What is the purpose? And most importantly, what truly matters? What truly matters? What is really important to me now? So that's the level that I stripped back to. What is important? You may have met with these questions too if you've ever been through something like I went through, or your own experience of something very life-changing or life-ending or life-giving, right? So from there, I was experiencing what we would call depression. I couldn't see the light. I tried lots of the usual things, different therapies. I saw Reiki healers and spiritual therapies of all sorts. And I returned to a practice I used to do intuitively from my teen years. And from there, what happened was truly miraculous. I ended negative cycles or toxic relationships. I ended the cycle of that. I ended the belief systems that I didn't even realize that I had. I didn't know about these belief systems that were keeping me small and suppressing my essence. I reclaimed my power as a healer, and I began to discover what truly matters to me and lived through that instead of what matters to the world, what matters to others, what matters to my job, and all the rest of it, right? And I see as women, we get to a stage in our lives where we look back and we kind of just say, wow, I believed all the lies. We were told if we were a good wife, if we sacrifice our desires and our needs, and we go and put everyone first, that we would be okay, that we'd be safe and secure in the world. And then we were told that we could have it all, and we were supposed to go out into the world and get everything. And then the feminists were setting boundaries, and we could see there's something in that, right? So we said, hey, that's a great idea. And then they said, oh, it was you feminists that told women that you could have it all, and look at you all now, exhausted and stressed. Except now we know that that was a lie too. It wasn't the feminists telling us this, but it was the failing economic and political systems failing, and it required more of us humans to keep the systems propped up. So you see, they just create the narrative, whoever's voice is most powerful, and we're all just treated like machines, and then we're told what we should want, what was going to make us happy. Consumerism. I know I'm not alone when I say that my journey into the light was dark. I was learning what it is I want, what it is that I love, what's truly important to me. And many women don't know this. We've been blinded and shut down for so long, but I believe inside of us we do know. There's something deep within us, but there's obviously a lot of fear that grips us from stepping out and being more authentically who we are. The grip of doing what we're supposed to do is so strong that we forget our magic. We forget how to have fun. We forget about joy. Okay, I don't want to spend too long explaining the in-depth language of energy because I don't know it all either. Instead, I would rather explain in simple terms in a language that I understand. So, as humans, we fuel our energy with thoughts and feelings, which then dictate our behavior. And this behavior feeds energy and feeds our future thoughts, our emotions and behaviors, and puts you on this energetic frequency with other people and opportunities where that same energy exists. Have you heard the term, birds of a feather flock together, or like attracts like? So if a thought, emotional behavior leaves a very negative impression, it can form a block, and that will grow when it's fed with more negativity. Does this make sense to you guys? This energetic block, what it does is it lodges itself in your auric field and also in your body, and it requires cleansing, otherwise it will wreak havoc. Cleansing your energy will also shift your life as well. It's powerful. You probably understand the difference between high energy and low energy, right? So low energy, low frequency reflects the intensity of your emotional state, like anger and sadness and fear, whereas high frequencies are fueled by positive. I really love the analogy that Oliver Nino provides. He says to think of changing vibrations like changing a TV channel. And when you're on one channel, another channel still exists and send out energy that you've chosen to live on a reality that exists on a certain channel, right? And it just dictates what you see, what you feel and hear until you choose a different channel. So your energy interacts with the people, with objects, even with land and food and other energetic influences that you experience. So it doesn't need to last long. It's not permanent. When you know how to cleanse your energy, you'll live on a higher vibration, and that will become your new normal and will feel natural to you. And at first it might feel a bit weird because you're shifting and you're changing. It you might feel a pull. But after a while, that higher vibration will feel normal and natural. And because it feels so natural and normal to you, you'll be less impacted by negative events and energies. So you can't live in a bubble and avoid negativity altogether, but you can raise your vibration to where you feel unbreakable and unshakable and mentally and emotionally stable. So you are protected. Nothing can get to you. So you'll be able to bounce back much quicker than you would have in the past, where you might have been really upset for days. But with this practice, you'll be able to shift through very quickly. So your energy comprises of, I missed one, sorry. Your energy system comprises of a outer layer and an auric field and many, many meridians around your body as well. And inside your body, the internal layer contains 7 main chakras. And healers mostly use the 7 chakras, but there are many, many more chakras as well. But there are 7 main ones that we can focus on. And They are, starting from the bottom, the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown. There is another one that I work with a lot as well, and it's above the crown. And it's a beautiful gateway, if you will, to the higher frequencies in the spirit realm. So that's actually 8 chakras. So are you all familiar with the chakra system, you guys? Just type chakras if you are. Awesome. I'm just looking at the comments. So you may have heard of these if you've ever been to a Reiki healer, right? By the way, I tell you what, I was really surprised to learn when I went through my cancer journey at through the Cancer Council here in Western Australia, which is a government-funded organisation. I think it might be a non-for-profit type program or system. And they sent me off to Reiki healing sessions regularly because of the overwhelming research that has been done on how Reiki healing has been helping people who were sick and going through a cancer treatment. So there you go. Energy healing is now mainstream. Yay. So energy healing, it releases blockages that we have inside of us that keep us from living our lives as pure light and love and the greatness that we truly are. And Michael Singer talks about this pure love force inside of us always wanting to rise. So you could call it Shakti rising, you can call it spirit or love, it doesn't matter. It's a force of love that's always wanting to rise. It's a beautiful force, and it connects us to our higher self. Okay? So what happens along the way in life is that we create these blockages. And Michael Singer describes this like a river. I love the analogy here. He describes it like a river inside of us. And the blocks are boulders or rocks. And these things are like belief systems that we create along the way in our life. And some of these beliefs come from our family. Some come from past generations even. Some we created to survive the harshness of life. And perhaps as a child, when we were reliant on others to survive, we had to create these beliefs to keep us safe. There was no choice, we had to. And where these came from, some of these will create these blockages in our river. So our river flows slow, and at worst, it'll stop. The flow will stop. And when our flow stops, we're in a terrible state. We feel stuck in our life. We aren't well. We are in suffering. We might be overrun by feelings of suppression, depression, right? And stuck in cycles of grief and loss or trauma and anxiety. So we don't want our river to stop, but there is good news because we can unblock our river, and that's what we're doing today. So I worked with a client who was really stuck in cycles of grief after her 30-year marriage ended. She was married to a narcissist and really wasn't happy in her marriage, but was equally devastated that the marriage had ended. And she spent 4 years in a state of grief and depression and anxiety. And she wasn't well physically either. All this grief had made her sick. And she said she was always in a state of chasing. Who relates to that? Always feeling like you're always chasing. And I recall that feeling once in my life too, or times in my life as well. So she told me she wanted to be free from her ex. And even though they were divorced, her thoughts and emotions still revolved and centered on him. So she was living in this fear. And although she looked like she was coping okay on the outside, just no one knew how unhappy she was because she'd locked herself away in her house and didn't really have a life that she was meant to be living. And through the work we did together, she tells me that she is just getting one aha moment after the other. And she doesn't feel the need to chase anymore because she feels at peace. And ultimately, that's what we chase. When we are feeling like we're always chasing something, we're ultimately looking for a fulfillment. But we get told, just notice the ads on your TV and media that feed you the message of what's going to make you feel good. And because we are often really trapped, we're not tapped into our inner knowing, we fall for what we are told will be good for us. And she says she always knew that she had a strength inside of her, but now she's just fully embracing it. She's living in this state of bliss. So she's fully healed from that experience, and she no longer feels resentment. She no longer puts pressure on herself. She is living through her truth. She is seeing amazing synchronicities all around her and opportunities. And that's what happens. When you cleanse and clear your energy, you are then open to notice the synchronicities, and opportunities will start presenting themselves to you. Isn't that amazing? One of which, with this particular lady, she had a really random bump-in with a builder, and she just hired him on the spot to build her a holiday shack. And this feels so good for her to just put her stamp and her energy into this project, for her and her children to enjoy something that's hers. And that was her dream. And she also began to do volunteer work, and she feels so rewarded for doing that. She really enjoys it. In the past, she never took up invitations for anything like that, or parties, get-togethers, but now she's going to celebrations, fully participating in her life. It's amazing. And this gorgeous woman, I tell you, she's ruling her own world and just exuding joy. And I think this is so powerful, the feeling of being fully in your light. It's just magical, and quite a different woman from who she was just 16 weeks before we met. So I share this story with you to show you that we can remove these blocks and boulders, and it's actually not that hard. And I'm going to show you how to do that next. So does this all make sense to you guys? Just type in energy blocks in the comments if this is making sense to you. I'm just checking these comments. Oh, amazing. I love seeing the comments. Yes, Teresa. Yes, I'm very familiar. Carissa, I can relate to this. Amanda, yes. Yeah, not a good feeling. I can relate. Yeah, awesome. Oh, Di. Yep. Hi, Di. Not stuck anymore. Living my best life. Yeah. Energy blocks. Yes. Thank you. So glad. So how do we move past this and use the power of energy healing to shift this and create a free-flowing river of life through our bodies and our spirit? So the first thing in removing these blocks is just awareness. It's amazing. Just that bringing awareness is a shift in itself. Just being aware of what causes and feeds your blocks is enough to initiate an energy shift and can lift you out of frustration or denial and into more positive frequencies. And sometimes energy clearing is not enough to remove a block. You may need to combine it with emotional work as well to release it. And in the iRise program, I show you how you can do that. So there's very simple steps for that. Look, often our blocks are a combination of internal and external influences, which can be a challenge to release those and untangle. I worked with a client who appeared to have it all together. She was a professional in her field, very respected in her field. She owned multiple properties, and on the outside, her life looked amazing. But on the inside, she was really struggling in her personal life. Her partner wasn't respecting her, and she found it very difficult to keep boundaries. She owed money because she was giving so much away because she didn't want to let people down. And her home was a bit of a chaos as well. She had loads of animals to look after, and most of them didn't get along. It was a real reflection of what was going on inside of her. And after scanning my client's energy field, I recognized the root was connected to her family environment. Her mother was a narcissist. Her father was not very present, even though he was there. She felt very belittled and shamed, and this impacted most of her decisions in her life. Now, my client began to realize that she had chosen partners much like her mother's overbearing and controlling critical nature and her father's passive aggression. So she even realized colleagues and bosses at work that were just like her mother as well. She was surrounded by it. And my client's home environment was not pleasant to be around either. And she had made many poor choices just based on her past. So the core of her block was external, since her mother's energy was bullying. And my client had been in therapy for many times over the years and years. She attended support meetings, yet her energy just continued to be a big problem for her. And I tell you, after 16 weeks of working with my client, she had fully turned everything around. Her work was far more respectful of her. She broke up with her dismissive and abusive relationship. She gained financial control just as a natural unfolding of the shift in her energy, and she restored peace in her house. She feels so happy. She feels fulfilled. She is free from the clutches of that childhood trauma. She's truly moved forward. And you can have a clean and clear energy field. Not only will you feel so good, but you have a clear slate for you to discover your purpose work and your spiritual gifts, because those things become clouded when your energy is stuck and your life is not in the right flow. Those spiritual gifts, your purpose work, your soul's, what attracts your soul's vibration, that becomes a bit clouded. So that's another reason, the main reason why we need to cleanse that energy field. So I've had so many clients who have begun businesses since started working with me that are aligned with their purpose work now, once they've done the clearing, or even if it's not, let's just say they don't want to do work anymore as such, but their next step in their life, the next thing that is passionate to them, they end up living through that, and that is just amazing. So, hey, let's get into learning about how to begin to clear your energy centers, okay? This is going to blow you away. It's going to blow your mind. It's amazing. So we have created awareness. Now the next element we need to call in is to create protection around our energy centers. No one taught us this. I never learnt this as a child. We all need to know this. But now we establish we are energy. We need to be mindful of how our energy is being used, how we share our energy, and what energy we want to emulate and emit into the planet. Listen, this is very important. It is a life-changing. So to start our energy healing, number one, we need to protect our energy. So there are two major tools to protection, and that is intention, set the intention, and sacred geometry. Now, there is a process to this, and I would suggest to do the protection part for the next 3 to 5 days. Okay, before we get into shifting and getting rid of those boulders in our river, we need to set ourselves up. We need to protect our energy first. Okay, it's very important. Don't skip the step thinking I'll just go straight to cleansing. Really need to do this protection work first, and you will notice the shift, I tell you. We just need to become very aware of your own vibration and your own energy field. So how do we do this? We use an intention, or you can call it a prayer. Your intention is part of your free will. Intention is simply a statement that you can say to yourself out loud. And also, I must say, do this protection exercise first thing in the morning. So the 3 parts to intention are what you want to remove, and what you'd like to experience throughout your day. So you can simply say first thing in the morning as you open your eyes, I set the intention today that I be protected from negative energy. I want to filter out whatever is not in my highest good. Please send me love-based energy to combat any negativity that I might come across today. And so it is. And this intention is enough to protect you throughout your day. Your intention, you are so powerful. Your intention is very powerful. And you can layer it. You can layer this intention with a second or third intention as well. If you need some extra help, or maybe you're going into a situation where you sense you might be around people who might impact on your energy, like you might go into a meeting or a coffee with a friend who's particularly negative, and you could just say simply, God, please fill me with love, with courage and strength. Remove all negative energy and lower level energies during this meeting. I want to experience only positive emotions for the highest good of all. Or you could say, God, please protect me from all toxic, fear-based negative energy for the next 6 hours or however long you need. And that's always fun to play with as well. Now, you may notice a subtle shift come over you, a sense of calm. Or you may want to tweak your intention and just try again. There's no problem with that. The energy you put into your intention comes from your heart, which has a larger energetic field than even your brain. Okay? So intentions mean you are co-creating with higher power. You are created to that higher power. You're connected to it. You are the creator of it as well. So that's why prayer is so powerful, because you are handing over your protection to a higher power, to God. And there's faith and trust in that process. Okay. Look, the next thing we can do to protect our energy field before we cleanse is to add sacred geometry to your protection field. Okay. If any of you went to church, you will know about the shield of protection in the Bible. Just comment below if that rings a bell. I was raised in a Christian home. My dad was a preacher, and I remember my mum telling us before we'd go to school, we'd be in the car, and she'd turn over into the back seat, look at us, and say, "Don't forget to put on your armor of protection." And so, just off the top of my head, there was a shield of faith, helmet of salvation, the belt of truth, breastplate of righteousness. Basically, the armor symbolizes that God is the protector of his people. So this isn't a new concept that I'm sharing here. The great source of all creation is available for our protection. And by the way, this practice that I'm sharing with you, this is not religion. I don't want any of my messages to promote any religion. This message isn't religion, although you will find this message in religious teachings, like I just mentioned about the shield of protection. This is a pathway to living a life of inner peace and love. Religion involves a set of organized beliefs and practices, whereas spirituality is about individual practices that focus on finding peace and purpose. And energy is in your core. It's who you are. It's not related to religion. Love is the message here, okay? So no matter what your religious belief system is, this message is for everyone because it's about love. So the importance of sacred geometry is that it attaches sacred meaning to geometric shapes. So you might feel aligned with certain shapes. I like spirals, octagons and pyramids. Those are my favorite. But pyramids have been found in agriculture and nature, and they are being found to be very, very effective. So I came across a research the other day by a researcher called Bill Carroll. So I looked him up, and he did studies using pyramids for about 17 years on brine shrimp, and found that they live about 6 or 7 weeks, but under different conditions under a pyramid. He observed that brine shrimp can survive for over a year. And I just thought that was amazing. So that's the power of pyramids. And of course, the ancients have known about the power of pyramids, right? Since forever. So other shapes may resonate with you are stars, honeycombs, cobwebs even, the hand of Fatima, seashells, leaves, the Star of David, and even your DNA is shaped like a ladder, a 3-dimensional double helix. Okay, so most human cultures reference sacred geometry in some form, even back to cavings on rocks and cave paintings. It's amazing. Greek and Roman philosophers theorized that sacred geometry is the blueprint for life, and believed that God's geometric plan formed to the basis of all matter. Amazing. So shaman traditions use sacred geometry to convey messages from the spirit world. Sacred geometry is everywhere. Just look in nature. Just look around you. Look at the seashells. Look at the flowers. That's all sacred geometry. So I have an interest in people's near-death experiences. I love listening to them on YouTube. I'm always searching for those. I've listened to heaps. And I tell you what stands out the most, there's some commonalities in those stories. Firstly, the overwhelming sense of love and acceptance that they feel on the other side. And the other is that they talk a lot about geometric shapes that they see, right? So what we can be sure of is that geometric shapes can access, maintain, and amplify energy, especially when little else works for protecting or healing. So that's why I like to include geometric shapes. Our bodies are naturally respond to geometric shapes because it's in us, it's part of us, it's around us. Sacred geometry is the language of God. So has anyone ever been to a sound bath healing or under a pyramid before? If you haven't done this, it's such a beautiful healing experience. If you ever get a chance to visit Bali, there's a place in Ubud, and that is called the Pyramids of Chi. And this is such a beautiful healing experience. I highly recommend meditating under a pyramid and couple it with sound and light therapies, and you're in for a blast, I tell you. If you aren't able to put a physical pyramid over you, you can imagine it as well. You can just use your imagination, which brings me to my next point about protection. This is the next part. About your protective practice. The next thing to do is add color and light therapy. So look, choosing protection, it's an intuitive process. You might resonate more with sacred geometry. I personally like to couple intention, sacred geometry, and color together for a powerful effect. You might just want to use 1, 2. This is your process. This is for you. You go with what feels right for you. So you can simply ask, please help me find the color that will protect me from my negative energy, from any negative energy. Okay, just ask for the color, what comes to mind. Just trust yourself, trust your process. And now imagine yourself inside your geometric shape, and a color will appear. And you can try on various colors, okay? You don't have to use one or the other every time. If you don't know where to start, just start with golden white light. I use golden white light in my healings and meditations, and also blue light resonates with me a lot as well. So think of your colour being held inside your geometric shape. And using these 3 components to form your protection shield is the highest form of protection. And it might seem an overkill to layer it with 3 different things. But hey, in these crazy times we live in, guys, there is a lot of fear and negativity around us. And, you know, you can be sure you are protected if you are layering up with 3 layers. So I don't want you to feel afraid of negativity, though. Okay, we can shift out of it easily. We are the vibration of love, so we'll just be able to shift quickly when we are living in a higher vibration. So just experiment with color until the intensity of the color reaches its max. And you've achieved your max protection when you feel energized, when you feel peaceful, when you feel calm, or you might feel a bit tingly. Your intuition and natural instincts will tell you that you have reached your max. Okay, you'll feel it. So, hey, just to recap this practice. So, first we set our intention. Remember that part? Then you visualize yourself and your sacred geometry, and then you want to bathe in your color, and bam, your protection shield is complete. So as I mentioned, this before you do the cleansing, you want to start with protection. So protection is very important to do. I would say 3 to 5 days. Now you may feel emotional, you may experience some physical side effects from doing this. I returned to this practice just really recently when I was in Bali. I firstly was in a bit of an emotional slump. I was very tired. I had a belly ache as well. And I could feel physically a block in my gut. I just had a heaviness feeling, and you might feel that too when you just have an area in your body that just feels a bit stuck and a bit heavy. So everyone's different. So don't be shocked or afraid. Some people experience headaches or tiredness, nausea. Irritable bowel syndrome is common, very common. You might start crying and don't really know why. Or feeling dehydrated is another common one. These are all very common. And even though we haven't done the cleansing yet, this is setting your intention for learning about and raising your vibration, and what plugs you into a universally higher frequency, and it affects your mind and body. This is the miracle of whole self-healing. It's the miracle of being in a higher consciousness. Everything is connected. Your body, your emotions, your mind. So your self knows that you're about to cleanse and release some big energy. So it's gearing up for that, and it's preparing your body for it. That's why you might feel that shift. So the process already begins with this protection layer. So you may also go through this 3 to 5 days protection and feel really energized and have amazing sleeps. So it could go that way as well. So just be really prepared. Your body may feel new feelings that may ask for your attention. So follow your body's lead. It could be energy moving through you, and just totally love and embrace your whole self. Take that time to really nurture and love yourself through it. And one thing I will say that will help you so much is doing some form of grounding. So we talked about the chakras earlier. And during this powerful cleansing work, your crown chakra is really activated. So it needs to be balanced with some grounding. So simple breathing exercises will really help with that. That's all you really need to do. Just simply take some time to do some deep breathing. Or you could walk barefoot. That helps. In nature, imagining roots coming out of your feet and going deep into the earth is another fantastic way to ground yourself. So take time out, maybe 10 minutes just to breathe, equal breaths into your out breath. And I also help my mind to stay with me by imagining my breath to follow my sacred geometry. So I inhale 3 and imagine I'm drawing a triangle up, and then I hold my breath for 3 as I come back down the triangle, and then on the other side I release my breath for 3 as the final side of my triangle is complete. Does that make sense? So let's just take a few minutes together and following your breath now, and add your sacred geometry, whatever one comes to mind that you want to use, and add it, put it around you. Just close your eyes and imagine that. Imagine that you're in the center of it, whether it be a star or a pyramid or any other geometric form that feels good for you. Beautiful. And sink into the clearing and the relaxation that this creates. It's like a safe bubble. And now you can layer it with light. So just imagine light coming in from the sky, and inhale the light and feel it rejuvenate and feel the energy of it healing and moving through your body. And imagine as you hold your breath, the energy expanding throughout your body and into your cells. And now exhale and release all the negative energy that you've stored in your body. And anytime you want to feel calm and relaxed, you can return to this simple yet really powerful exercise, especially through your 3 to 5 day protection layer. Beautiful. When I had cancer, this exercise was very healing for me. It helped me to keep my energy in a positive state, and I felt very connected into my body doing this, and I experienced this altered state, I guess you could call it, where I could feel the energy in my body was constantly working for me, healing and doing everything it could to keep me alive and well. And this was a powerful message for me, as I had spent my life ignoring my body and making it just work in jobs that I hated and in relationships that were really unfulfilling, and I was thinking thoughts that were not in my highest good. So as sick as I was, I returned to my inner truth and just loved every inch of my sick body and all that was doing to help keep me alive. I even thanked my body when I went to the toilet. And if you've been through chemo, you know what I'm saying. So, okay, sisters, this is a lot to cover today. So tune in tomorrow at the same time, exactly the same time, the same place for part 2, where we're going to get into the cleansing of your energy. We're going to cleanse the blocks and the barriers in your energy field. And I also told you too that I would announce the winner after tomorrow of the healing session with me. So if you're only just tuning in now, or you've just sort of come on before this started, if you want to be part of that draw, it's a free energy healing session with me. So just type in the comments energy healing, and I'll know that you want to be part of that draw. So it's just going to be a beautiful, unique opportunity for anyone who's interested in taking that next step in their healing journey. So I'm just thinking of anything else I need to mention. Also tomorrow, I will be offering something really unique for everybody who's interested in taking that next step in their healing journey as well, to alchemize into their greatness. So remember, if you want to hear about that offer, pop along tomorrow to hear that. That'll be this at the end of our cleansing session. So many thanks for joining today, and enjoy your protection shields. Okay, let me know how you go with it. So I will see you tomorrow, same time. Okay.